Today, Honorable Duale did ask a question. Where were the security apparatus? Where was the county commander? Where was the county criminal investigations officer in Uasin Gishu when all this were happening? I want to make it clear, I have raised time and again that my life is in danger over this issue of the organ harvesting, because the county security officers in Eldoret are culpable. They are part of this ring. The county commander, the county criminal investigations officer, and over 10 officers in Eldoret who have been there for over 10 years. The county commander, the county criminal investigations officer, has been in Eldoret now to close to 6 years. And when you follow it behind, you will notice the county criminal investigations officer actually came from Kilifi, Shakahola. And there could be some connections between this illegal organ harvesting and the things that happen in Shakahola. And that is a wider investigations that along the course of time, we would want to know in any case. I looked at the Senate report on the issue of Shakahola, where there was no mention on the report of the pathologist or on the report of the county security officers of Kilifi as part of the critical evidence that would have been used in coming up with a credible report over the issue of the massacre and the death in mass numbers in Shakahola. But talking about the issues today in Eldoret, I want to make it clear, I have gone to the Inspector General of Police. I have done letters. I have done the same to DIG. I have done the same to the CID, DCI. I have said, your officers in Uasin Gishu are culpable. They are part of this ring. In fact, they stay in Mishra's home, literally, because they are being given the money, the proceeds of selling the organs of our people, of the young people, most of whom are 20-year-olds, 21-year-old, who have never seen the kind of money that Mishra was showering them around here. Most of whom were lied to, that they would be paid 1.2 million shillings to sell their organs. Most of them ended up with less than 400,000 shillings. This is the grim reality. All of you that are watching me know, when you are a 20-year-old, yes, you could be an adult, above 18 years, but you don't have the strong capability to be able to make some of these critical decisions. When you are desperate for life, you are coming from a challenged background. Most of the targets were actually young people who come from the single parent families. And therefore, these young people don't have anybody to defend them. And what will happen? When they see a situation where you meet Mishra, promises you, he gives you 50,000 the first day, he promises you that I'll give you 1.2 million, they take your ID away. They give you a fake ID. Everything was fake, well designed, because they knew they were criminals. They are in the criminal elements in a criminal ring. They brought in many people from abroad to come and treat them here, most of whom did not actually know where was the source of the organs that they were being transplanted to. Finally, as I continue to make it clear that the county criminal investigations officer, the county commander of police in Uasin Gishu, and the over 10 officers, and those 10 officers are deadly. Those 10 officers who are working in cahoots with Mishra are deadly. There is even a time there was a threat to my own life as a member of parliament. I have spoken this time and again. They will not allow the young people whose organs have been illegally harvested to go and report in any police station in Eldoret, in Uasin Gishu, to report, to make an OB. This is how terrible they were. To do an OB is a right of every Kenyan. And so for you to be able to be denied until it dare to take me and some leaders in Wasingishu, including Sholei, that we had to make a personal intervention in some of these police stations for these young people to go make a report. And therefore, the call that Mishra must first of all go to jail, and then from there, because it's clear he was not born in Kenya. He is by citizenship, is by registration. That citizenship must be withdrawn with immediate effect. And there are so many other Asians whom they were operating with here in Wasingishu that I know them one after another after another. I have a whole long list. They must all be brought to book as well. Some of whom were partners of Mishra, even in that hospital. And they benefited enormously on the blood of the young people here. For all of those that were involved, there are many who have come out who really need help. I'll be going to Parliament again, and I'm looking forward for us to start the investigation on the Committee of Health. I brought this matter in November last year. It never saw the lights on account of probably those who were in the leadership of the Health Committee. But I'm so grateful that after the change of the committee, I raised this matter again in Parliament, and I want to thank Dr. Nyekal for being so bold and bringing now these investigations to light. I look forward to now expound. I have a lot of evidence, both from the staff from Nandi Hills who came out, some of the doctors who came out and say this illegality stings to the heavens, and they do not want to be associated with the things that happen in Nandi Hills Hospital. The illegal international organ harvesting is a global threat. And the things that happen in Shakahola has direct relationships with organ harvesting. To sell an organ for 50 million, 60 million Kenya shilling, some people would went off their morals to harvest in whatever form, even taking lives, for them to be able to sell other human beings. And I want to still make it clear that I still believe the investigations that was done by the Senate of Kenya about Shakahola. I want to call upon the Ministry of Health that you need to do again investigations, because I still insist there is a direct correlation between the deaths and the massacre in Shakahola with the organ harvesting rings. And I will be proven right over time that indeed those people who were killed in Mombasa, those who were murdered, those who were subjected, and there was a story about the occultic activities and those kinds of things. It was more than that. We want that report, a comprehensive report. As I indicated, the report that was done missed out on the report of the pathologist, the government pathologist who did the pathology of the bodies, and the security officers. It is not a coincidence that the current county criminal investigations officer, was actually the DCI in Kilifi when the deaths happened. It is not a coincidence that these people have been here for over 6-7 years. These officers who are here, and most of them came from Kilifi. At that time, Mishra was in the health committee, and he was a very powerful man, buying his way through. And I want to tell Mishra, you cannot t-shirt us. Even your legal officers, the lawyers who have been shouting all over and saying they want to sue us, we are ready for it. We will not be cowed down by your money or the money of anyone, in as far as they trample on the rights of the very young people we represent, because most of us were in that space in the past of struggling. And so you cannot come and try and think like you can intimidate us as leaders, I being one of them.